Dr. Athisayam. I am going to talk about coronavirus. So, coronavirus is a large family of virus. It causes illness ranging from the common cold to more severe disease such as Middle East respiratory syndrome, simply MERS-CoV, and severe acute respiratory syndrome. Coronaviruses are zoonotic, meaning they are transmitted between animals and people. Detailed investigation found that SARS coronavirus was transmitted from civet cats to humans and MERS from dromedary camels to human. Several known coronaviruses are circulating in animals that have yet infected humans. Coronavirus disease is a new strain that was discovered in 2019 and has not been previously identified in human. Some of the common signs of infections include respiratory symptom, fever, cough, shortness of breath, and breathing difficulties. In more severe cases, infection can cause pneumonia, severe acute respiratory syndrome, kidney failure, and even death. The standard recommendations to prevent infection spread include regular hand washing, covering mouth and nose when cough and sneezing, thoroughly cooking meat and eggs, avoid close contact with anyone showing symptom of respiratory illness such as coughing and sneezing. So the important outbreak in 2019 was corona disease, that is COVID-19. This is a structure. So structure of coronavirus, it has spike protein. Spike protein, then it has some transmembrane protein along with the nucleic acid in this structure. And the outer structure also it is shown in this picture. So etiology, coronaviruses are positive stranded RNA virus with a crown-like appearance under an electron microscope due to the presence of spike glycoproteins on the envelope. The subfamily Orthocoronavirinae of the Coronaviridae family and classifies into four genera of coronavirus: alpha coronavirus, beta coronaviruses, delta and gamma coronaviruses. The beta coronaviruses genus divides into 5 subgenera or lineages. Member of this large family of viruses can cause respiratory, enteric, hepatic and neurological disease in different animal species including camels, cattle, cats and bats. Some of the common coronaviruses are human coronavirus OC43 and human coronavirus 229E that belongs to alpha coronavirus. So they can cause common cold and self-limiting upper respiratory infection in immunocompetent individuals. The immunocompromised subjects and the elderly and lower respiratory tract infections can occur. Other coronaviruses are SARS coronavirus 2 and MERS coronavirus that belongs to beta coronavirus. These cause epidemics with a variable clinical severity featuring of respiratory and extra-respiratory manifestations. Concerning SARS coronavirus and the MERS coronavirus, the mortality rates are up to 10% and 35% respectively. SARS coronavirus belongs to the beta coronavirus category. It has round or elliptic and often pleomorphic form and a diameter of approximately 60 to 140 nanometer. Like other coronaviruses, it is sensitive to ultraviolet rays and heat. Furthermore, these viruses can be effectively inactivated by lipid solvents including ether, ethanol, fluorine containing disinfectant, peroxyacid acid and chloroform. So why coronavirus infected? So Chen et al. Reported in 2019 have proven that the genome of the new human coronavirus isolated from the cluster patients with atypical pneumonia after visiting Wuhan had 89% nucleotide identity with a bad SARS like coronavirus XC21 and 82% with that of human SARS coronavirus. For this reason, the new virus was called SARS coronavirus 2. The mutation in the original strain could have directly triggered the virulence towards humans. It is not certain that this intermediary exists. So transmission. So initially scientists thought that the direct exposure of the human seafood wholesale market of Wuhan, the animal to human transmission was the main mechanism. Human to human close contact and the symptomatic people are the most frequent source of COVID-19 spread. So epidemiology data provided by the WHO Health Emergency Dashboard, they confirmed it's the beginning of the epidemic of this 2977 have been fatal. About 92% of the confirmed cases were recorded in China. Outside China, almost all countries infected by this coronavirus. Prognosis. So the preliminary data suggests the reported death rate ranges from 1% to 2% depending on the study and country. The majority of the fatalities have occurred in patients over 50 years of age. Young children appear to be mildly infected but may serve as a vector for additional transmission. This epidemic leads to develop a quicker vaccine in the worldwide. So the first phase 1 clinical trial for potential COVID-19 vaccine has begun in Seattle, Washington. 4 adults, the first of 45 eventual participants received their first doses of an experimental vaccine developed through a partnership between the US National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease. The potential vaccines based on messenger RNA which directs the body to make a protein found on the coronavirus outer shell. The hope is that this will elicit an immune response that protects against infection. So apart from this vaccine development, many other vaccines from different countries were developed, RNA vaccine and uh, dead, dead vaccines are also prepared. Attenuated vaccines are also prepared. So in India, Bharat Biotech make a big contribution to handle this COVID-19 outbreak. Thank you.